Let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up and thought, well, this pain is just part of getting older, right? That quiet stiffness in your joints, the pressure in your chest when you climb stairs, the discomfort that doesn't scream but never really leaves. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. So many of us over 60 have accepted pain as our new normal. We tell ourselves it's just part of aging. But here's a truth most people don't hear enough. Growing older doesn't mean giving up on comfort. And in today's video, I'm going to show you something powerful. A simple, natural remedy using just two ingredients from your kitchen, castor oil and garlic, that could help relieve pain, reduce inflammation, ease congestion, and even improve sleep. All in just 7 days. And trust me, what happens by day 4 might completely change the way you think about healing. Before we dive in, tell me in the comments, what part of your body has been asking for relief lately? I read every message because starting today, you don't just live with pain, you do something about it. The oil that reaches deeper. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine an oil so thick, so golden, that it clings to your skin like warm silk. But unlike most oils that just sit on the surface, this one sinks in, deeper than lotion, deeper than balm. It goes where the real issues hide, under the surface, into the tissues, into the aches you've learned to live with. That oil is castor oil. Now I know what you might be thinking. Isn't that the stuff my mother gave me for constipation? Yes. It's that same oil. But what most people don't know is that castor oil isn't just a digestive aid. It's one of the most powerful topical healers nature has ever given us. When applied to the skin, castor oil has a rare ability. It penetrates past the outer layers and begins working its way into joints, connective tissue, and even old scar tissue. It doesn't force its way in, it's welcomed. And once inside, it starts doing something miraculous. It softens, it warms, and it loosens. That deep stiffness you feel in your back or knees, that frozen, tight feeling in your hands. Castor oil gently invites those areas to release, but it goes even further. Castor oil also stimulates your lymphatic system, your body's natural detox network. For those of us over 60, when circulation slows and inflammation tends to linger longer, this becomes especially important. A sluggish lymph system means swelling, fatigue, and even trouble breathing. But when it's activated with the help of castor oil, everything starts to move again, like unclogging a backed up drain. I've spoken with countless women and men who tried everything, from ointments to over-the-counter creams, before turning to castor oil. They used it on aching shoulders, swollen ankles, tight necks, and after a few consistent days of use, the results were subtle but undeniable. Easier mornings, less swelling, a quiet comfort where pain used to be. Castor oil doesn't shout. It doesn't promise miracles overnight. What it offers is something much more honest, a return to balance, one layer at a time. And yet, this is only one half of the story. Because when castor oil joins hands with a certain humble kitchen ingredient, something known for centuries as nature's antibiotic, its power multiplies. The combination becomes more than comfort. It becomes transformation. In the next part, I'll show you how garlic, a pantry staple most people take for granted, can become a game changer for your joints, your chest, and your overall well-being. Let's keep going. The best is just ahead. Garlic, not just for flavor. Let's be honest, when most people think of garlic, they picture pasta sauce, maybe a roast chicken, maybe even a remedy your grandmother swore by during flu season. But few people realize that garlic, yes, that simple clove sitting in your kitchen, is one of the most powerful tools for healing that nature has ever offered. Now, I'm not talking about eating garlic every day, though that has its benefits. What we're focusing on is how garlic can be used externally, as a gentle, targeted treatment for inflammation, infection, and even stubborn congestion. The science behind it is compelling. Garlic contains a natural compound called allicin, which activates when the clove is crushed or grated. Allicin doesn't just smell strong, it is strong. Researchers have found that this one compound can kill bacteria, fungi, and even some viruses. But it doesn't stop there. When applied to the body through the skin, garlic also reduces inflammation by calming overactive immune responses in the tissues. This means garlic can do more than fight off germs. It can help relieve swollen joints, tight muscles, irritated nerves, even sinus pressure or chest congestion that's been hanging on for weeks. A woman I once worked with had lingering inflammation in her ankle from an old injury. She'd tried creams, wraps, medications, but nothing helped long term. One night, out of curiosity, she tried a simple garlic compress. By day 3, the swelling had gone down. By day 5, she could walk without limping. It wasn't magic. It was nature doing what it's always done, if we know how to use it right. Of course, raw garlic needs care. You can't just slap it on your skin and hope for the best. That's where castor oil becomes your partner. Castor oil doesn't just dilute the garlic, it enhances its delivery. It carries allicin into the deeper layers of tissue without causing irritation, helping it work where it's needed most. So if you've always thought of garlic as something for the kitchen, it's time to see it differently. Think of it as nature's repair tool, quiet, potent, and surprisingly powerful. And next, I'll walk you through exactly how to combine it with castor oil step by step so you can use this healing blend in your own home safely and effectively. What's sitting in your spice rack today might just change how your body feels tomorrow. The 2-ingredient healing compress. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine it's the end of the day. Your joints are sore, your back feels tight, and even simple movements feel heavier than they used to. You don't want to reach for another pill, but you also don't want to lie in bed feeling stuck. That's where this healing compress comes in. No complicated instructions, no special equipment, just 2 ingredients and a little time carved out for your healing. Here's how it works. First, take a clean, soft piece of cloth, a cotton square, part of an old t-shirt, or a piece of flannel. Something gentle, something your skin will welcome. Place it on a layer of plastic wrap or parchment paper. This layer protects your clothing or bedding so you can rest easy. Now, drizzle 1 teaspoon of castor oil right into the center of the cloth. Watch how thick and golden it is, like honey, but heavier. That's your first signal. This oil was made to stay, to sink deep, to do more than just coat the surface. Next, grate just half a clove of fresh garlic. Not too much. You want the allicin, that powerful natural compound that fights inflammation and bacteria, to be present but gentle. Sprinkle it into the center, right over the castor oil. Now pause, breathe. You've just created a healing tool with your own hands. Fold the edges of the cloth if needed, then gently place the compress onto the area you want to soothe: your knees, your lower back, your wrist, your chest. Wherever the pain has been quietly calling out for attention, secure it loosely with a towel, scarf, or wrap. It doesn't need to be tight. This isn't about pressure, it's about presence. Let the blend settle against your skin. Let it begin to work. Keep it on for 60 to 90 minutes. Or, if you're comfortable, wear it overnight while you sleep. Just be sure to protect your sheets. The longer it stays, the deeper it heals. And here's something special. If you want to enhance the effect, place a warm compress or heating pad over the area. Not hot. Just warm enough to gently coax the oil and garlic deeper into your tissue. And yes, you can reuse the compress. After each use, store it in a small plastic bag in the fridge. Before the next session, add a little fresh oil and a new pinch of garlic. One cloth can last you a full week. This isn't just about relief, it's about ritual. The act of preparing something with care, placing it where you hurt, and giving yourself permission to rest. That's not just treatment, that's healing. So no, you don't need another prescription. You don't need a waiting room. What you need is this moment, a small shift, a gentle choice, and the quiet trust that your body still wants to feel good. Now that you know how to use it, let's talk about what happens after 7 days. What shifts? What changes? What softens? Because if you give this blend time, it will give something back. 7 days, 3 transformations. Let's take a moment and talk about something real. Not theories, not promises, but lived experience, because sometimes the most powerful proof comes from quiet changes you feel in your own body. Changes that don't scream, they whisper, but they're real and they last. Meet Dorothy. She's 70, lives alone in a cozy little house by the woods, and has dealt with knee pain for over a decade. Not the kind of pain that keeps you in bed, but the kind that steals your joy, one slow step at a time. Getting up from the couch, climbing stairs, even walking to the mailbox. She tried the castor oil and garlic compress for the first time on a Tuesday. By Saturday, she wasn't limping as much. By the next Tuesday, she walked to the post office without her cane. She said, "It didn't erase all the pain, but it gave me movement again, and that gave me hope." Now let me tell you about Frank. He's 76. A proud grandfather, still gardens, still chops wood, but for years he'd been waking up at night with a tight, heavy chest. Doctors said it was chronic congestion. He tried humidifiers, over-the-counter meds, even sleep position changes. Nothing brought lasting comfort. Then came the compress, applied right over his chest for an hour each evening. On night 3, he slept through until morning. By day 6, his breathing was deeper, easier. He said, "I didn't realize how shallow I was breathing until I finally wasn't." And then there's Maria, 65, recently retired. She loved baking, but lately her digestion made even a simple meal feel like a risk. Bloating, discomfort, fatigue after eating. She began applying the compress gently to her lower abdomen. 7 days in, she called it her evening reset. She could enjoy dinner again without worrying what would follow. "I feel calm inside," she told me. "Not just in my stomach, but everywhere." These aren't medical miracles. These are quiet wins. The kind that tell you your body isn't giving up. It's waiting for your support, for something simple, consistent, and kind. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need a clinic. You don't even need perfect belief. Just a little willingness to try. Because sometimes healing doesn't roar, it hums. And over time, that hum becomes strength. Now that you've seen what's possible with just 7 days, let's take it a step further. In the next part, I'll walk you through the 5 most common conditions this blend is helping people with, backed by both stories and science. Stay with me. What it actually helps with. Let's pause for a moment. Before we dive into safety tips and how to get the most from this remedy, I want to help you truly understand what this blend can do, not in theory, but in real life. Because when something as simple as castor oil and garlic touches the body the right way, the results aren't just physical, they're transformational. So what does it actually help with? 1. Joint pain and stiffness. This is where most people begin. Whether it's aching knees, sore hands, or a back that's been giving you trouble for years, this blend gets to work. Castor oil dives beneath the surface, softening tissue, calming inflammation. Garlic adds its own quiet power, reducing the immune overreaction that often fuels arthritis. People report being able to bend, stretch, and move without that sharp catch of pain they once braced for. It doesn't happen all at once, but when it does, it feels like freedom. 2. Chest tightness and congestion. When breathing becomes a struggle, even the simplest moments, laughing, walking, lying down, can feel heavy. Applied to the chest, this blend warms the area, loosens mucus, and opens the lungs gently. Garlic's natural antibacterial power helps clear lingering infections, and castor oil carries it deeper, right where it needs to go. For people with chronic bronchitis or lingering coughs, it's like lifting a weight off their chest, literally. 3. Digestive sluggishness. This is one most people don't expect, but digestion is at the heart of how we feel. Bloated or light, heavy or clear, tense or calm. By applying this compress over the stomach or lower abdomen, you can activate castor oil's ability to improve circulation and support detoxification. Garlic eases internal inflammation and may help rebalance the gut. Many people say they feel less bloated, more regular, and even sleep better after just a few nights. 4. Skin that just won't calm down. Eczema, dry patches, flaking, irritation, especially on aging skin, can be persistent and frustrating. And store-bought creams, often too harsh, too greasy, or just don't work. This blend offers something gentler. Garlic helps reduce inflammation and fights off bacteria, while castor oil hydrates and heals. Apply it carefully to trouble spots, and within days, many people feel that roughness soften. The redness fades. It's not flashy. It's just quietly effective. 5. Deep-rooted tension. This might not be in any medical journal, but it's real. Sometimes our bodies hold on to stress in our shoulders, our hips, our belly. We don't always have the words for it, but we feel it. This blend isn't just for diagnosis. It's for discomfort, wherever it lives. The warmth of castor oil, the vitality of garlic, and the care you give yourself in the process, it all adds up. It tells your body, you're safe now. You can let go. And here's the thing. It's not about curing anything overnight. It's about support. It's about offering your body something it recognizes, something it knows how to respond to. This blend doesn't fight your body. It partners with it. It helps bring things back into balance, one layer at a time. So whether you're dealing with pain, pressure, swelling, or just that sense that something inside feels off, this remedy offers a place to begin, a gentle place, a safe place. Now, before you try it for yourself, let's make sure you know how to use it safely and comfortably. Because real healing should never come at the cost of peace of mind. Before you try it, 6 safety rules. Before you begin incorporating the castor oil and garlic compress into your routine, it's essential to understand that natural remedies, while beneficial, require mindful and informed application to ensure safety and effectiveness. 1. Always dilute garlic with castor oil. Garlic, in its raw form, contains potent compounds that can cause skin irritation or burns when applied directly. To prevent adverse reactions, always mix garlic thoroughly with castor oil before application. This dilution not only safeguards your skin, but also facilitates the absorption of beneficial properties. 2. Use a cloth barrier between the mixture and your skin. Direct application of the mixture onto bare skin can lead to irritation. Instead, apply the blend onto a clean piece of cotton or flannel cloth and then place it on the desired area. This method ensures a gentle and controlled delivery of the remedy's benefits. 3. Conduct a patch test before full application. Before applying the compress to a larger area, perform a patch test by placing a small amount of the mixture on the inside of your forearm. Wait for 24 hours to observe any signs of irritation or allergic reaction. This precautionary step helps identify potential sensitivities. 4. Do not ingest the mixture without medical advice. While both castor oil and garlic have internal health benefits, ingesting them, especially in concentrated forms, can lead to adverse effects. Consult with a healthcare professional before considering oral consumption of this remedy. 5. Ensure all materials used are clean and dry. Hygiene is paramount. Always use clean, dry cloths for the compress to prevent introducing bacteria to your skin. Wash your hands thoroughly before and after handling the mixture to maintain cleanliness. 6. Store the mixture properly if reusing. If you plan to reuse the mixture, store it in an airtight container in the refrigerator. However, be cautious, as storing garlic and oil at room temperature can pose a risk of bacterial growth. Always check for any signs of spoilage before reuse. Remember, while this remedy harnesses the power of natural ingredients, its efficacy and safety depend on careful and respectful use. By adhering to these guidelines, you honor both the tradition of natural healing and the well-being of your body. What this remedy really gave me, embarking on the journey with the castor oil and garlic compress, I anticipated physical relief, a reduction in pain, improved mobility, perhaps better sleep. What unfolded, however, was a transformation that transcended the physical. Each evening, as I prepared the compress, it became more than a routine. It evolved into a ritual of self-care and reflection. The act of tending to my body with intention and gentleness rekindled a sense of connection that had been dulled by years of discomfort and resignation. As days turned into a week, I noticed subtle shifts, not just in my physical state, but in my outlook. The stiffness that once dictated my movements began to ease, and with it the apprehension that had shadowed my daily activities. I found myself moving with a newfound confidence, unburdened by the anticipation of pain. Beyond the physical improvements, this practice instilled a profound sense of empowerment. It reminded me that healing is not solely the domain of medical interventions, but can also be nurtured through consistent, compassionate self-attention. I reclaimed agency over my well-being, recognizing that small, deliberate actions could yield significant transformations. This remedy offered more than relief. It provided a pathway back to myself, a self that moves freely, rests peacefully, and engages with life fully. It underscored the importance of listening to my body, honoring its needs, and embracing the healing potential that resides within. In embracing this practice, I discovered that healing is not a destination, but a continuous journey, one that is enriched by patience, self-compassion, and the courage to seek change. If you're contemplating where to begin, know that the first step lies in the decision to care for yourself. That choice in itself is a powerful act of healing, the healing you deserve. You've spent years caring for others, showing up, pushing through the pain, maybe even ignoring it. But today, let this be your reminder. Your body deserves care too. Not someday, not later, now. This remedy isn't just about castor oil and garlic. It's about choosing something gentle, something real, something that honors where you are in life, not where you used to be. If you've ever felt like healing is out of reach, I want you to know it's not. It's right here, in your hands, in your home, and in your heart. So tell me, are you ready? Drop a comment below. I'm ready. Like this video if you felt something shift inside you, and subscribe if you want more natural, proven ways to feel whole again. Because no matter your age, your story isn't over. This is just the beginning.